Aries, my darling. Y'all seen Pulp Fiction, Aries? Welcome back to Seven Heaven, y'all. The most blessed and highly favored channel on YouTube. Using the Friends Tarot today. And y'all remember in Pulp Fiction, whenever I think it's Ving Rhames is in the back seat and Bruce Willis is driving him. No. Opposite. Something like that. The guy's in the front seat, the boxer's in the back seat. Maybe this doesn't even happen in the cab, but there's some point where he says, "That's pride, fucking with ya." And you know what, Aries? Pride is finally done fucking with ya. Oh my goodness. South Node and Leo. It's making you more diplomatic. Leo is pride. Leo is the heart. And you're just open, Aries, like you never have been before. This is the channel message. I'll leave timestamps, y'all, but this is your August 2026 money, love, career, all that good stuff. We'll do love, couples, singles, and then money and career. But continuing your channeled message, Aries, I really just do think this is the time, because we have Mars, and Mars is squaring Neptune in this time between the eclipses. It's really just the time that you're going to be disillusioned AF. The things that you thought were comfort aren't comfort anymore. And it's like Alice in Wonderland. Like, you got to grow and shrink, baby. Grow and shrink. And the thing about Aries is that Aries is quick to grow, but not so quick to shrink down. And it's not about shrinking yourself down to minimize yourself, Aries, because people will try to get you to do that just because of how Aries is. Aries is of the self. But you want to shrink down like Alice in Wonderland. She shrunk down so that she could fit through that keyhole and continue her adventure, okay? And so one thing about Aries, I mentioned with Cancer before, like, people think they're of family, but really sometimes that's their biggest wound. And when it comes to Aries, you know, people think they're just selfish, but sometimes self is a big wound for our Aries people from a beautiful Aries. Sometimes, you know, you won't find a more powerful energy than Aries energy, but not everyone can take it, and sometimes Aries can't even take their own energy, okay? It can be a self-wounding. And sometimes Aries is so selfish because they don't even really know themselves. They just kind of are protective of the self, but they don't fully know and understand themselves, okay? We're gonna keep this one for when the cards go off. But yeah, you know, Aries don't always fully understand who they are. And so, like, Mars and Cancer right now, you're getting that. Cancer, just like Neptune, that's intuition. And we're in between these eclipses. We had one on August 12th that was in Leo. That was a solar eclipse. So for Aries rising, that puts it in your 5th house, okay? And so that's pleasure, that's children, that's your heart space. Completely transformative, you know, celestial event for that space in your life. But now we have the lunar eclipse coming. I think it's on the 28th of August, and that's in Neptune. Okay, so water for the moon, water for Neptune. And Cancer, we have Mars in Cancer, which is your ruling planet, Aries, okay? So this is, you know, these are crazy waters. These are disillusioning waters that we have. But it's absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it. You have Saturn in your house too. For Aries rising, it's in the 1st house, but for any Aries, Neptune is in your house, it's squaring Mars, and you have Saturn in your house as well. So it's really a time to mature. It's a time to look at yourself differently, Aries, and to really get to know yourself and to form a self. Because what is Saturn in Aries if not the formation of the self, okay? And same thing with, like, Neptune, like self-disillusionment. The only thing sexier, Aries, than like showing up and pretending to be perfect like you always do is to realize that you don't really have to be, okay? And that's a big theme of this month. It's just like, same thing with Venus and Libra. You can have more empathy for yourself and others. Some of you in romantic situations, that Venus and Libra is gonna bring just an ideal person because of the gentler energy that everything opened up in the heart space for you. Because sometimes Aries can be hard-hearted because they've just been tried one too many times in this life or the last, or maybe they're being tried for the first time and it's a very raw, energetic experience. But this is transformative for you, Aries, okay? Anyway, Aries, my phone was full of storage. But all that's to say, different relationship with yourself. Different relationship with yourself. And speaking of storage, like what's taking up so much energy and space like in your life that you can just get rid of? That's what this Mars in Cancer transiting your 4th house is kind of about. And this all the transits having to do with yourself are about. And Neptune, disillusionment. Because sometimes, if, you know, living in reality, yeah, I mean, we need some hope and some disillusion to survive, but baby, it doesn't take as much energy as putting on delusions every day, Aries, okay? So we're all getting those disillusionments with all the Neptunian aspects. But let's see, what do we have for love with our in-between eclipse space for Aries? And this is Aries who are in relationships. What do we have for them? Our message from Spirit. Oh. Okay, Aries. Well, I mean, Aries, you fight to know that you're alive, to know that you exist. Oh, and this one popped out before too, y'all remember. Okay, the Page of Wands. Little. Aries, I mean, I sense a little passive aggression from you. Indifference is so much stronger. That's the thing, is that Aries fights from an identity perspective of like, that's how I know that I exist, that I got to somebody. But like, Aries, come on. You, I mean, you're cute, but this kind of arguing with your person for passion or to know that you're alive or to know that you matter to somebody, it's tired and it's tiring you out, Aries. And that'll be a part of your disillusionment. You're gonna see that that's no longer really worth it for you. What other cards do we have for our Aries spirit? What do we have for love in the relationship? Okay, this one wanted to come out. Okay, 10 of Wands. For some of y'all, I mean, if there's children involved, you're feeling not necessarily the burden, but you're feeling the weight of humanity for sure. But also, I mean, because if you are an Aries rising, or just like these are some of the themes going on for the 5th house for Aries, we have Jupiter, which is a planet that represents children, in the house of children, talking about more kids. Sun, which is again like childlike energy. And the South Node, so just like change of perspective on children. So there could just be more children coming too. If you don't want children, Aries, protect thyself. But it could just be time like, okay, is it time to have more children? But just don't be careful that the conversation around children centers around the children, and not just because you guys are trying to get your way with each other or not. But it can be, I mean, it can be a first one. It can be a conversation of like, do we want our child to have siblings? Or do we want our children now to have more siblings? You know, but this is also interesting because Aries right across from that 7th house, you won't find a better self-justifier than Aries. So sometimes Aries can't resist more children because it's more of themselves, quite literally, which I know sounds narcissistic, but you know, they just like, they want this. They want to have those debates with everybody. They want to create a whole army, a whole battlefield, you know? And so it's like, well, baby, love is a battlefield, but everybody wants to have to play. And like for Aries, I'm sensing either you or the other person is like kind of done with that dynamic, which is surprising for Aries because they almost won't know who they are without that. What else do we have? Can we, I mean, I think y'all know what's the solution for Aries outcome for taking Aries, and then we'll go to single. Thank you so much, Spirit, and thank you for being here, y'all. I'm truly grateful. Okay, the Lovers. So for those going for kids, y'all might have twins, but you know, it's just the continuation of this breakup or makeup cycle. Or channeling a little bit more of that Aquarius 11th house instead of, you know, Aries has the fork in the road to go towards this kind of conflicting breakup makeup cycle, or to channel that into like their kind of star boy, star girl energy and use their gifts. Aries, that's the fork in the road that you're in. And this doesn't just have to be romantic. This is literally like, okay, everybody in your life. Do you want to stay with the same kind of like codependent kind of manipulation dynamics? Or do you want to bring something new to the table and use your gifts to reel people in instead of your drama? Because drama is a gift, but now that you're getting to know who you are you going to want to use the same tactics? That's the question, okay? Aries, those involved, and that's like a message, I guess, more generally, but all partnerships, including our romantic ones. What do we have? Let's go move on to singles now. What do we have for our single Aries? And you know, just do it, Aries. I'm hearing something about Nike or Nikes. Maybe someone's gonna work for Nike or has some kind of offer from Nike. But just do it and know that everyone is a win. If you go over there and do one push-up, you did a push-up. And that you're like, the likelihood that you will do 10 push-ups increases so much more once you do one. Based on statistics that I'm making up 100%. But that's how it is. Same, doesn't matter if it's tarot readings, doesn't matter if it's writing, you know, doesn't matter if it's going on a run. An object's emotion stays emotion. Okay, what do we have for singles? Okay, singles. Some of the singles are having a little apprehension. First of all, money troubles, which a lot of people are in this economy, LOL, but some of y'all are having apprehensions about being single because you don't feel grounded. And like we were saying before, Aries kind of has that self-wound, okay? So like this could be recent drama or ex-air sign, can be Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, or Libra, Aquarius, Gemini people, or just like drama around those placements in your chart, maybe if you have your moon there. But this is just kind of focusing around your anxiety around being single. You're not feeling very grounded with it. And sometimes Aries doesn't. That's another thing I was going to say. Aries are kind of masters of creating worlds that they rule and that are completely their own. So there's some apprehension here. Something's kind of keeping you up, sleep quality's down. But you know, for those of you who are never happy single, then this is you're no stranger to this. But for those of you who usually are, it's not that you're unhappy with it, but you can finally tell more where other people would do good in your life. Or we're a different type of person. Because if you did, and again, just using like Aries rising as the example, but if you did really experience all that transformation, that solar eclipse in the 5th house, that Mercury there, Jupiter, all in the heart space, the 5th house being the heart and Leo being the heart, if you really did like experience all that transformation, which you're really just at the beginning of, then you're ready for like a different kind of partner. And I think that kind of stresses you out, having someone who meets your needs in and needs you didn't know that you had. Let's put it that way, single Aries. Let's have a clarifier in the outcome, please, for our single Aries. Okay. Okay, Spirit's not joking. So, I mean, our Two of Cups. What did I say? Unprecedented, like, kind of love space, right? But we also just have, like, being stingier, valuing yourself in different ways. Some of y'all kind of transitioning in with your earning, and we'll get to that in the career portion, but you're transitioning in how you earn, and that's changing how you view yourself because you're making big plans. Okay, so this could be, okay, you're gonna meet someone on a trip, you're gonna meet them when you're doing something that's your hobby. I'm hearing it's more around passion. That's fifth house too. Fifth house is things that we enjoy. And you know, Joey was an actor on Friends. He wasn't always good. Oh, so what a great character. Okay, beep beep. See, it's gonna be some passion too. It's gonna be some passion with those sirens, girl. But Joey, as an actor on Friends, he did it because he loved it. And he stayed the course until it really paid off. So for those of you Aries, like, trying to be with somebody, I'm sensing that, like, you're staying enough of the course to actually get to know yourself, to create a solid relationship too with that Saturn and Aries, okay? So it's like a soul connection will come through, but you have to make it through this first. Because this is the work, yeah? And for some of y'all, it'll mean, like, do a sleep study done, or, like, get that therapy with the Neptune transit. Because that'll be, I mean, again, using Aries rising as the example, Pisces rules your 12th house. So you'd be surprised how much, like, your relationships can change, even with just a few therapy sessions, because that disillusionment, it'll add, you know, it changes how you plan things. It changes how you value yourself. And it allows you to let in someone who values you, Aries. So this is actually crucial fated disillusionment for you, okay? It's gonna change how you relate. Let's move on to money and career for our Aries. Sorry, y'all. Thanks so much, y'all. Reading for y'all is a gift. Money and career, Miss or Mr., Mistress, they, them, Aries. What do we have for Aries, money and career? Thank you, Spirit. Spirit is our gel, the gel that holds us all together. What do we have for money, career, luck, all that good stuff for our lovely Aries collective? Okay. Some of y'all either work in a bar, you want to open a bar, something of the sort. You're going to pass the bar. But there's something to be celebrated for our Aries. For some of y'all, that's like literally alcohol, spirits. But a celebration seconds. What else do we have? Money and career. You'll have multiple options. If you're someone who's going to be looking in that arena, you'll have multiple options. Hope y'all saw those pop out. See? You're committed to the coin, though. And something, you're going to probably choose the most stable one. That doesn't just mean, like, this is, like, the most logical one. It's just like, okay, if I have these three options, the one that I'm the most committed to is gonna make me the most coin in the long run. So commit, Aries. Commit to what it is it's the thing that you want the very most, because it will commit to you back. But it's time to start giving value. That's the thing about the Taurus house, which you have Chiron there right now. So you have this lesson around values anyway, okay? So you need to, I don't want to say be better, but just change your values, because long term, not just in the short term, but currency and value. The more value you put in, the more that you'll get out, okay? So, some kind of lucky break. Can we have one card for luck and close our Aries out? Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay. King of Wands. Some kind of mentor, y'all. Some kind of mentor, or like something from a higher up. You'll get somebody's blessing that'll allow you to do what you need to do. And this will be somebody that, like, I mean, for some of y'all, someone you're sexually involved with, but for other people, just like someone that you perceive to kind of be this, like, maybe even someone mean. They're gonna be, they perceive you kindly, and they're gonna give you a lucky break, okay, y'all? That's our August between two eclipses reading for the beautiful Aries collective. And I will see you guys in a personal reading, one of the celeb tarot tabloid readings, or on another time in another life. Bye, baby.